But welcome to our team call tonight. I always love our team call because I feel like I get to see you guys and we get to talk, and that's like one of my favorite things about these calls. And so I wanted to talk about a few things tonight. I have a couple people ready to share a little bit with you today as well. But let's start with one of the elephants in the room about this new credit card thing that came out by LuLaRoe. Okay. Hopefully you guys were able to read the email that they sent out and the information about it. But currently they're in a litigation, I guess, with a credit card processing company that they used to use with their old Bless system, or Audrey is what we used to call it. So LuLaRoe is in a litigation, and just recently they told LuLaRoe, the credit card company told LuLaRoe, that they were going to start withholding 20% of all credit card transactions. So in order for LuLaRoe to continue moving forward, they had to basically, for now, they have told us that we may no longer purchase new inventory with credit cards. Now, hopefully, most of us are not using credit cards to purchase our inventory. Most all of us are probably using the money that we make from our sales of LuLaRoe and just reinvesting that into our inventory. But if you are using a credit card, just know that from now until whenever time in the future, when they get this resolved, it is no longer allowed to use a credit card for your purchases. However, there is one exception to that, which I was super excited. While I was in California, Mark actually announced this to us before it came out to you guys, that if you are new on board, you can use a credit card to do your initial purchase. So that is exciting, because I know for many of us, there's no way we could have started LuLaRoe had we needed to pay cash for our initial inventory. So that is exciting. So if you guys have any questions about that, let's actually answer your questions right now. The one other exception to that too is if you are switched over to the new Bless system, which I would totally recommend. If you're not switched over yet, I would say do it. Get that done, because eventually there's gonna come a point where we all need to switch over. And so and New Bless is amazing. New Bless is super easy to use. It's really user friendly. So I totally recommend switching over to that as soon as you can. But you are allowed to use your LuLaRoe credit card for your purchases as well. So that's another option, which is awesome. It's basically, it's just money that you've made selling LuLaRoe. So it's the same as coming from your bank account, but you can use that LuLaRoe credit card. Okay. So do you guys have any questions? You're all on mute right now, but if you have a question, go ahead and unmute yourself, and I'll be happy to answer that for you.
I do, Jenny.
Yes.
So I'm not too smart, I guess. So I didn't activate my card when I first got it, because I thought, I just have to wait till I get into the new Bless, then I will.
Okay.
I didn't realize I could do it right then. So there's nothing on my card currently.
Okay.
I just activated it last night, actually, because I found out I could do that.
Okay.
So I had heard, or somebody had posted something about ACH, whatever the heck that is. I don't even know.
Yes.
What is that?
So ACH just means that you need to link your bank account. It's just coming from your bank account. So if you have your bank account information in Build, I think where it is, go into your account and fill in your bank account information if it's not there. That way they can take it directly from your account rather than using like your debit card, which is what I have listed in my checkout, for my orders, to place my orders. Okay. But you can actually put in your bank routing numbers and stuff like that. That way it'll come straight from there, and that is allowed. So you are allowed to use that.
Okay. So that's what I have to do till I get somebody on there?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions you guys have about that new announcement.
So we cannot use our debit cards.
Correct. It'll still charge the 20% if you actually use a card number, which is weird. So if you wanted to use your debit card is coming straight from your bank account. So all you would need to do is enter your bank account information. If you're on the new Bless, I would say just use your LuLaRoe card. And your LuLaRoe credit, if you've used it before, it has normally it has your debit card here or your credit card, and then above that it has your LuLaRoe card here. And it will show you how much you have on your LuLaRoe card too to purchase. So, so then when you go to make your order, you just click on LuLaRoe credit card and it'll use what's on your credit card, your LuLaRoe credit card. Otherwise, fill in your ACH, your bank account information, and it will just pull it from your bank account. You can do that too. Any other questions? A lot of people are making a huge deal out of it, and it's really not that big of a deal. And the biggest thing was really for new onboards, that originally they were saying that they wouldn't be able to use a credit card, but because LuLaRoe is amazing and generous, they are allowing the new onboards to use a credit card. However, they are still incurring the 20% withholding, the company is still withholding that 20%. So LuLaRoe is literally sacrificing that 20% for all of the new onboards coming in, which I think is so generous of them. And it tells us, it tells us basically that they care more about us and our growth than the money that they're going to make on those new onboards. So pretty awesome.
Do they know how long they're going to withhold that from them?
We have no idea. As long as they're in this litigation and until things are resolved, which we don't really know how long that's going to take. Angela could probably tell us more about how long those things take. I don't know. I don't know a lot about those, but for now, that's just what we're going to have to just make the new normal, I guess. So it's a bummer for them. Any other questions? If you do have any issues with Build and Bless, the new Bless, there's an email that's buildandbless@lularoe.com. Sometimes you'll have issues. Davey was missing an order, and if you're missing an order, sometimes that doesn't come through so that you can receive that order into your inventory. You could use that email to send an email to get them to update that for you. Calling into home office is usually the fastest way to solve any issues, because you have someone there on the phone with you to hopefully get it solved while you're on the phone. But you're welcome to use that email as well. Okay, all good? If you do have any other questions that you think of later on, let me know. But I really feel like this is nothing to worry about. No big deal. All right. The second thing I wanted to address today in kind of our announcement is convention. And I'm super excited for convention. A couple things you want to make sure that you have got going on right now for convention. First of all, know that it's going to be thebomb.com. It's going to be amazing. Number two, make sure you are looking at plane tickets for when you're going to be arriving. Make sure you look at those. Prices are always going to be cheaper a ways out rather than getting closer. They're going to start to go up as you get closer. A couple of the airports that I would recommend flying into, which are probably a little cheaper, are LAX or Long Beach. I prefer Long Beach. So if you're looking for a less busy airport, and I just prefer Long Beach. I think it's only like 25 minutes from Anaheim. It's just a much nicer airport to fly into. Misty says they're driving, so if you're driving, be sure you can plan that ahead. If you want a carpool, you guys can organize a carpool. I will be arriving early, along with, I believe, Lindsay and Keely will be arriving early as well. If you want to come early, we will probably most likely be arriving on Monday, and that way we'll have time to do some extra things, possibly go to Joya. Some of you may have seen my video from Joya. It's pretty amazing. And I pretty much spent $300 there, you guys. It's out of control. Like, there's so many awesome things. But part of that $300 is cute little gifts that I found to put in my customers' orders. One of them, or what it is for my customers, is little like patch stickers that you can stick on your bags, you can stick on clothing. They're really cute. They were so cute, and they're only 50 cents a piece because they came in a pack. Super cheap, but you know, it all adds up when you get a bunch of things. Plus, I got a gift for each of you. So be excited. It's coming your way. Make sure you fill out that team profile. If I sent you a Facebook message that you hadn't filled it out yet, will you please get that filled out for me? That way I have your shipping address and I can send those to you. So some cute things at Joya if you want to come early. Yeah, Chelsea, you're going to love it. Third, for convention, make sure you have a hotel room booked. If you couldn't tell, if you looked around, they book out fast. The Clarion is where most of us are staying. I know some of you are staying in different locations, which is awesome. And I would love if you guys would plan. I believe one of the nights will be like an open free night. I would love to plan something as a team where we could either go out to dinner, we could plan something really fun to do together that night. So if you'll be planning on that, that'd be awesome. Another thing that I found out too while I was at the trainers, was that Justin, he said that they're currently working on many of the orders for convention tickets. Some of them were doubled, maybe tripled in the system. So they're sorting through all of those orders. And he said he felt like many of the people on the waiting list would get through. So if you or someone you know happens to be on the waiting list, that is pretty good news. So I'm sure we'll be hearing about that maybe tomorrow on the home office call. And hopefully all our team that's on the waiting list will be able to get through. So have all of you received your confirmation from LuLaRoe? For those of you who did purchase tickets and felt like, you know, the purchase went through, hopefully all of you received that confirmation. If not, there's an email that's lularoeevents@mosaicevents.com. So you can email them if you have any issues with your convention tickets. All right, any questions about convention? It's gonna be awesome. I heard we're gonna have another awesome, amazing artist come and do a concert for us again. I can't wait to find out who it is. I don't know who it is, otherwise I might tell you because I hate keeping secrets. I get so excited. But yeah, so, okay. There are no questions and we will move forward. All right, the third thing I wanted to address was the home office Be on Purpose training tour. Pulani was able to attend that today, and I know that Emily is going to be going to the Pittsburgh one tomorrow. So exciting. I'm so excited for you because I know for me how much fun they are, how inspiring that they are, and how much I always take away and how motivated and excited I feel about LuLaRoe after I go to them. So coming up, we do have, pertaining to our team, because there are other trainings coming up, but on May 25th, we do have a Provo, Utah training. So be watching for your, for the registration for that on the LuLaRoe app. I hope that all of you have downloaded the LuLaRoe app by now. If you haven't, it's called LuLaRoe Events. See if you can see that on my phone. Kind of see that. Can you see the LuLaRoe logo? That's what it looks like on your phone. Download that LuLaRoe Events app. That is where you'll find like dates for upcoming trainings. That's where you can find dates for Super Saturday trainings in your areas. That's where you'll get information when you are at convention. They will actually send you notifications and updates through that app. So you'll definitely want to have that app. Lots of different information comes through that. So,
Hey, Jenny.
yes.
How much are the tickets for the Beyond Purpose tour? Because I looked on the LuLaRoe events app and it's not showing the price. It just tells me that it's a Bravenel Hall.
Okay. It says that's at a Bravenel Hall in Provo.
No, but it said a Bravenel Hall when I looked at it the other day.
Okay, let me refresh my app and let me just see. Training dates, schedule.
That might be last year's.
That's yeah, because that's where it was the last training. So that might be an old.
It had the right date though. It had it like May 25th.
It did, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. What I've heard, and I actually have a friend who's a trainer I just went to California with. She's actually speaking at it in Provo. So I know it's in Provo on the 25th. The price on them, it looks like, is $20.
Okay.
So you can just plan for that. When the actual, I don't even see the event on the app yet showing up. I don't see it showing up for me yet. So when that comes up, I will post a link to that so that you can buy your ticket real quick.
Sweet.
Okay.
Thank you.
You bet. Okay. Any other questions about? Yes, 20. Any other questions about the Beyond Purpose Tour training? Okay. Oh, hi, Mandy. Okay. Perfect. So speaking of the Beyond Purpose Tour training, Pualani was just able to attend that today, and I wanted her to share how it was and also her top 3 takeaways from today. So Pualani, you're up.
Okay, so I literally just drove my car home from my flight. It was so amazing. Like, I did a couple of lives because I wanted you guys to feel like how exciting everything is. In the beginning, of course, they're like, get up and dance. And I'm like, get up and dance, you guys. What's wrong with you? Like, get excited. Everything was just the feeling in there, just super, super, super exciting. And then, of course, when Deanne comes in for the afternoon session, everyone's super pumped. Kenny spoke to us too. Jordan spoke to us as well. We had some amazing people that are trainers and coaches speaking to us. But I took lots of notes, of course. And I shared with you guys, Deanne's like, who's in here that's 1 month? Who's 3 months? All right, everybody else sit down. Let me see my QBs. And then she onboarded everybody that was ready to pay. Everyone that had the money, she's like, you get up here and talk to Kenny. You're getting onboarded today. It was so amazing. And she's like, don't tell anyone. Of course, I went live and told everybody, but only to you guys. So, but just the feel of everything was great. So 3 things that I want to share is one of the things they talked about was upselling versus cross-selling. And they did a graphic, which I'll try to duplicate and put up. But it was talking about, like, if somebody is buying a Madison, suggest the Amelia. And it's not just to upsell the item, but to kind of give them options and say, Madison is exactly like the Amelia, but the Amelia is a beautiful dress, and you can do this with that, and you can do that with that. Just so they get an understanding of what the versatility of everything is. But part of that is too to upsell. You know, get your Amelia out there if they love the Madison. And then what else did they talk about? They like the Perfect Tee, introduce them to the Carly, and then versus cross-selling. So cross-selling is like, I'm getting leggings, but what else can I sell you with that? An Irma or a classic or a dress. If they have a top-end leggings, maybe add a Cassie with that. Again, just to kind of show them the versatility of that. I loved that they had that information. And then the second thing I wanted to share was know what to say to your customers. So I think the hard part for me is when they catch me off guard and I don't have something to say to them, and I'm like, well, so they were giving tips about things that you like little rebuttal things that you can say to them. So when someone comes into your shop and you don't know them, they're new to your shop, you could say, tell me a little bit about your style and what you're attracted to most. So you can kind of steer them in that direction versus like watching them for a little bit and kind of seeing what they're touching and maybe even seeing what they're wearing that day, to kind of get a feel of what they might be attracted to, because they might not know. There's some people who just put something on because it was on sale. They don't really know what their style is. So kind of get an idea about what they're attracted to. When they try something on, ask them how they feel in it, because you might not like it on them. You might think, well, I think this would be cuter, which you could suggest to them, but they might love it when they come out. So ask them how they feel versus, oh, what do you think of that? How do you feel in that? And then they can tell you, I feel really pretty, or I'm not quite sure about this. And then you can maybe suggest a different style for them if they're kind of more worried about something that they are, I don't know, a little more self-conscious about. And then when they're in the dressing room changing, you can say, hey, I grabbed a few other things for you. I'm going to hang them right outside your dressing room. Even if you don't love it, try it on for sizing. Once they get those clothes on, they're going to be like, I love this. I'm so glad you told me to try this on. And then if they're like not quite sure, I have a lot of people here who are adults who are like, leggings are not for adults, they're for kids. They're not pants. I'm like, just try a pair on. You might like them. They might not be up to date with trends yet and pattern mixing and all that. So you can mention to them, have you seen a trend where people mix this and that? Or have you seen where they're putting t-shirts and knotting them over the top of their swing dresses? Well, we have that stuff too. So you can kind of get them a little bit of education about like kind of what the fashions are. And then the last thing that I wanted to share, Jordan actually was talking about this. It was really cool. I didn't really think about it this way. So he said that compliments, when someone compliments you, it's someone telling you that they want what you have, whether it's what you're wearing or whether it's the way you carry yourself, your confidence, whatever it is about that they're telling you, I noticed you and I want whatever you have. It might be them saying, I need what you have. If there was 4 people on there who had things from their inventory on with their tags on that could like rip it off and say, here, it's $35. I will sell it to you off of my body. I don't think I would be able to do that, but you never know. So it's another thing you kind of said about that is that it's somebody telling you that they have an insecurity of some sort. It might not be big, it might be something small, but they think they need what you have to make them feel better. And so one of the things that we all talk about is how LuLaRoe makes us feel. Let LuLaRoe heal them. So you feel their need, you fill a gap or a crack or mend their broken spirit. It could also give them a purpose to get up and get dressed for the day, because for some people that's the hardest thing to do. So those are my 3 things to take away and share.
Oh, so awesome. It's amazing what you really can take away from those. And we all hear different things, but those were some amazing things that you brought up tonight. Jordan actually talked about the same thing at the trainers training, where you don't think about that, but when somebody's complimenting you, they see something in you that they want. Something about you is something that they desire or that they want. And that gives you the opportunity to present them with LuLaRoe, like Pulani said, to let them heal, let LuLaRoe heal them. Allow them, give them the opportunity to experience LuLaRoe. And share your why. That's another opportunity to share your why, what LuLaRoe has done for you too. So thank you so much, Pulani, for sharing that. Okay, next up, I asked Lindsay Cooper to share a little bit about her LuLaRoe journey, a little bit about her and how she balances her life as a nurse and a mom, and with her LuLaRoe business and many other things that she's involved in. So you're up, Linz.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't feel like I'm any more busy than anybody else, but here we go. So, like Jenny said, I am a nurse. I'm a pediatric trauma nurse here at the pediatric hospital in the ER, and I have 4 kids, 5 if you count my husband, who's my oldest child. So, and then both my boys are in competitive baseball where we travel all over with them. So, and not to mention my 2 girls who have things as well. And my husband, who is a firefighter, so has a crazy schedule. So, between all that, we figure it out. So, I guess my journey starts with my why. And to be honest, I don't like to talk about my why because honestly, I'm a little embarrassed about it. But I guess I will open up and let you guys know. But yes, sorry, my kids are talking to me. So when of course we all start this LuLaRoe journey because we love the clothes, and yes, I love the clothes, but mine goes a little bit deeper, and I don't want to get emotional, but I am. Another thing you need to know about me is I'm emotional. So we were financially struggling, like really financially struggling, like our house was about to get foreclosed on. So we really needed to find something, and I didn't want to go to work another day of the week and be away from my kids for any more longer than I am. Because I don't know, I know Pualani was a nurse, and I don't know if many of you know, we work 12-hour shifts, but by the time you go and you get home, it's a lot of times 14 hours. So I didn't want to go. I work right now, I work 2 12-hour shifts a week, and I didn't want to do 3. So we started looking at options. And of course, I was addicted to the clothes and I loved them. So I thought, I think I could do this. And so that's kind of where my journey started. And it's kind of taken me. And I kind of watched some of your guys's today. And I have to say, I agree with, like, that's and every time I'm having a hard time and I'm needing motivation, I think back at, like, what's my why? My why is to provide for my family and make sure we keep a roof over our head. And that I can spend more time with my kids and my family. But as I've been into LuLaRoe and it's kind of morphed, I've found out that I need LuLaRoe. I'm going to get emotional again. My job it's hard. Sorry, guys. It's very rewarding and I love it and I wouldn't change it for anything else, but a lot of times I'm there with parents as they're saying goodbye to their kid for the last time. And we've done everything we can to try to save them, but it wasn't enough. And it wears on you, that emotional strain. So LuLaRoe is kind of my outlet. I love it. I get to spend time with girls. I get to meet new friends. It's kind of my girl time, I guess. So anyway, that's my why. So let me put my notes. So the question was, how do I handle everything? Well, I have a calendar, obviously the LuLaRoe calendar, and everything is written down on here. I also have it in my phone, so if I lost my phone or my calendar, I'd be lost. I wouldn't know where I was going or what I was supposed to be doing. But I am busy right now, especially with my boys playing baseball. Obviously, it's summer and baseball's, not so you can play in the winter. So right now, I've had to focus more on online things and doing online sales and live sales when I can. I'm not able right now to do as many in-home pop-ups as I'd like, but I'm okay with that because I was listening to one of the trainings. I can't remember who it was, but he said, when everything's important, nothing is. So it kind of hit me, and I had to think about, what is most important? First, it's supporting my family and being for there, but it is letting my kids know that their mom loves them and that I'm there for them and that I want to be at their events and everything. So if that means that I'm not going to be able to have an in-person pop-up every week, then I'm okay with that right now, because in the winter, you know, when we're not as crazy busy, then I'll have those pop-ups and stuff. So right now I'm really focusing on the online sales and everything. So, and that is working out for me. So with my crazy schedule and my husband's crazy schedule, we kind of go back and forth. So if I'm at work, he's home with the kids, and when I'm home, he's gone. But if any of you have watched my live videos, you have seen that my kids are always in them, and it's kind of a mess. But I've had some of my customers say, this is great. This is better than reality TV, you know, because they're just crazy. But that's what works for me, and that's what I have to do. And I think my customers know that, and they love that, and they love seeing my kids, and, you know, they know them now, and they can see, you know, this is her family, and this is what she's doing it for. And, you know, I think it helps them to see that, and to kind of come into your life a little and see what you're all about. And what else? So yeah, I think the biggest thing is you just have to do what works for you. Like I said, like onlines right now is what I'm having to do, and not compare yourself to others. You know, and you just do the best you can. And I don't know. What else do you want me to say, Jenny?
That's wonderful. Lindsay, that's wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing that. You're such an awesome example of how to balance that. What is a priority in your life? Because it's true. Oh, I loved that quote you said, when everything is important, nothing is important. And that's amazing. That's something to think about, because we can't do everything. We can't make everything the most important thing. We don't have time. We don't have energy to make everything important. We need to prioritize what's most important to us. And that's the beauty, I think, of LuLaRoe, is that we have the choice. We can choose if this week we can do a pop-up boutique, or next week, you know, we don't have time because our kids have baseball games, or you know, we have the ability to choose. And that's something that I love about LuLaRoe. I love that we are in charge of our businesses. So thank you so much for sharing that. Thank you, Pulani. We have one more person that I asked to share a really fun idea that she used at her latest pop-up. Emily from Pennsylvania. We have two Emilys. So we have Emily from Utah, Emily from Pennsylvania. Emily from Pennsylvania just did a pop-up this last weekend, and she had like the funnest game idea that she used in her pop-up boutique. So Emily, the time is now yours. Take it away.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm actually going to give credit to my friend, Nicole. She helps me out when I do pop-up parties. So she helps me carry the bins and set everything up. She's got a lot of energy, so she helps boost people up. And it was for her family. So they play beer pong a lot. So we took that idea and we just filled the cups a little bit with water to help hold them steady. And at the bottom of the cup in Sharpie, we wrote 5% off. Lula Cash, she wrote host a party, and free pair of leggings. I think there was a 15% off. So there's 6 different cups, and it got everybody pretty excited. Everybody won something. They all got it in a cup. We gave them a couple practice runs at it, and I don't know, I think they got excited because it was something they knew, and they were all aiming for certain cups, so it just got people more active.
That's awesome. And how many pieces were you able to sell, Emily?
It was 30 or 31. I can't remember the two, but and they were asking, I brought some promo stuff with me for the hostess, and some people were asking for the socks and that kind of stuff. So that was fun. And then they're always asking about when we're getting new stuff in, and I don't know, it was a different group of girls. So it was a fun one.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Emily. I felt like that was such a fun, creative idea. I've never heard of that, but how fun would that be to play a game to get a discount, and what an incentive that would be for your customers to want to purchase something once they get that discount. So I mean, I would say, and I don't know if you can say, Emily, if you think maybe that helped your sales, I would say that it probably did, you know, and that because you made it fun and exciting and offered those discounts in such a fun way that people got more involved. It probably loosened them up a little bit too, because they were having fun. But what a fun idea. So, okay. Awesome. Any questions up till now that I can answer for you before there's one thing that I wanted to just talk to you a little bit more about today, as a short little training, and then we'll be done. So any questions up until now for anyone? All right, you guys. So I wanted to talk a little bit today about your dreams. I wanted to talk about, so there's this really amazing training on fashion fundamentals. And when you have a chance to go watch it, I really, really suggest that you do. It's called Dream Manager. It's a man who came and spoke at a leadership training, but he is called the Dream Manager. But he talked a lot about our dreams and how important they are to our lives, to our business. And so he talked about remembering what it was like to be a child. What was it like when you were a child? Give me some one-word answers about what it was like when you were a child. Anyone?
Fun.
Fun. You had fun. What else? I'm going to unmute you guys so you can talk. Tell me some more things about when you were a child. Again?
No worries.
No worries. Yep.
It was challenging.
Say that again, Pulani.
It was challenging.
Challenging.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For sure. Okay.
Imagination.
Oh, imagination. That's a good one. Yep. We did have imagination back then. Okay, awesome.
I would say work.
Work? It was
Yeah.
be a child?
My parents always had us work a little bit.
Oh, okay. That's good. That's great. So these are all great words. These are all great words. And I want you to relate this to the beginning of your business. Your business as a child, how you felt when you started LuLaRoe. Do you feel like all of these apply? I really do. I felt like all of these really applied to the start of our business. We were excited. We were overwhelmed, but we were having fun, and maybe it was a little challenging in the beginning. I mean, a lot challenging. What do you think? But he said, this is the space we feel in this space. We feel alive, and this is the space of dreaming. I feel like in the beginning, when we all started LuLaRoe, we all had a dream, and all of our dreams are personal, and no dream is too small and no dream is too big, but we all had a dream. And I feel like we all had that excitement and that aliveness, in our business. And so he was saying how important it is to dream. He went on to talk about what is a dream. He asked everyone, what is a dream? You need to define what a dream is. But before we define what a dream is, we need to define what it isn't. Okay? And what it isn't is, he said, as human beings, we all have this biological propensity to stay in a rut. We get into, we create a rut. We have these habits that we've created because they are safe. They're in our safe zone. And so we stay in our safe zone because it's safe, in our comfort zone. And so by default, it becomes just this tendency, this rut that we've created over and over. He talked to one guy and he said, what is your dream? What is your dream? He said, well, I want to buy a truck. And he's like, well, why don't you buy a truck? He's like, well, it's just not very reasonable. Are dreams reasonable? No, they don't have to be reasonable. But because of the way that either maybe we've been raised or the rules that we've been taught as we've grown up, we've created this rut for ourselves where we're kind of stuck in this comfort zone or this, this rut that we've always been in, and we're afraid to kind of step out of that. So I thought that was really interesting, so a dream is not staying in one safe zone. What a dream is basically, he drew this picture, and I'm going to draw it for you. So we have, okay, so we have this, and I know it's backwards, but we have this. This space is our normal space where we normally hang out in. This is our rut. This is the space, where we're safe in. Outside here is where our dreams are. And they're a little bit outside of that normal comfort zone space. So a dream is something that, okay, hold on, let me read what he actually, how he defined it. It has to be possible. It has to be desirable. It's identifying things outside of our default of things that are desirable and possible that live in language. And so that means live in language means that you can say it, you can write it down, something that is clear, like clearly written. And he said, what's the limit? The sky is the limit. There is no limit, okay, to our dreams here. Okay, so our dreams are here outside of that normal zone. Okay, so that was cool. It has to be possible. It has to be desirable. So what is your dream? So what I want you to do, I would like you to, if you can, right this moment, write down 5 dreams that you have. 5 of your dreams. They could be smaller dreams, but I would like some of them to be big dreams, big scary dreams that scare you when you think of them. Something so big that you're like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I could do that. And I want you to write those down right now. So if you have a pen or paper, please write those down. If you don't, you can mentally talk through them in your head, but somehow it needs to be lived in language. Really think of those details in your head, write it on that paper. Something that I think is really important, and you can just listen as you're writing it in your dreaming, is dreaming in detail. Knowing the color of the car that you want, and what scent that you're going to hang in the car, and where you're going to drive it, and how you're going to feel in it. The details are so important in your dream. Okay, so hopefully you have 5 dreams written down. Part of dreaming, like we just talked about, goes back to how we were as children. And it's what Chantel had mentioned was your imagination. Dreaming is a 2-part thing. Part of it, the first part of it is your imagination. And some of us are really good at imagining or coming up with those dreams that we have. And some of us, it's not natural to think of things that we dream for, that we want, or that we desire. And so imagination takes practice, and the more that you do it, the easier that it gets. So I would say practice dreaming. Write down. I had you write down just 5 things today, and but I would really like you and challenge you to write down 100 dreams. He said most people, they can get to about 40, maybe 50 dreams, and then it gets really hard. But at that point is where you want to keep pushing forward and really keep dreaming what more could I dream? And that's where your practice comes in, and dreaming becomes much easier for you. So this is really cool. I loved this idea. So let's say this is your normal rut right here, yeah? And this is the dream that you want right here, okay? So how are you gonna get to that dream? How do you get to that dream? It's a simple question, really. It's not a trick question. Work towards it?
You work.
Okay. But how do I get from here to here? I have to step outside of my comfort zone, yeah? I gotta step outside of my comfort zone, okay? Again. Okay, so in order to get to that dream, I have to actually step outside of my rut, and I've got to get a little bit uncomfortable and get to that dream there. Once I've achieved this dream, and look, this dream is not so far from my rut here, my normalcy. That's not so far. But guess what? Once I've achieved that dream, guess what becomes my new normal? Boom. Right there. This becomes your new normal. This is a really beautiful curve that I drew. I can't draw like that. Okay. But look, once you step outside of your normal, you achieve a dream here. This becomes your new normal. And everything here beneath that dream seems so much easier and so much more achievable. And guess what? Everything above your dream, of those scarier dreams that you thought maybe were kind of possible, become a little bit even more possible and almost inevitable. Okay, it's amazing. He said, as with his experience, in his experience, when people achieve their first dream, then it almost like opens the doors to the possibility of anything. Anything is possible. But I thought that was so cool because it's been so true. I've seen over the course of my time, I've had to step a little bit out of my comfort zone and a little bit more and a little bit more. And it takes those little steps outside of your comfort zone and achieving this little goal or this little dream and this little dream to eventually get to that big dream. And that happens over time as you achieve those little dreams along the way. And that then becomes your new normal. And that then becomes within your comfort zone, which I think is incredible. Because if you knew me 2 years ago and you knew where my comfort zone was, where I was just home with my kids, you would probably realize like what a change it's been over those 2.5 years, or how much more open I've become. And I sometimes forget how much I've changed over these 2 years, and I look back and realize it's been an amazing change. So okay, so let's see. So what usually stops us from achieving our dreams? What's that thing that stops us from achieving our dreams?
Shrimps in his backyard.
Fear.
Our negative talk to each other, or ourselves.
Yep, for sure. Maybe
It's uncomfortable.
it's uncomfortable. Absolutely.
Fear of failing.
Fear of failing. So true. So true.
Can I
How many of you wrote down your goals and you looked at them and you're like, oh, after you wrote that down, you're like, oh, wait, I don't know. I don't know if I can achieve that. I think fear is something huge. Fear, he said, fear is usually the only thing. Sometimes other factors play in, but mainly it is fear. It is that belief that or just that fear that you're not going to be able to achieve that, fear of failure, like Lindsay said. Sometimes other factors play in. Like he said, one time he met a guy that his dream was to be able to fly an airplane. Well, you could get past your fear of flying an airplane, but you have to know how to fly an airplane still. So that those other factors play in to achieving that dream, as some other dreams may have that. So my first challenge to you is we're going to make a list of 100 dreams. Okay? I would love you to send me that list, or just take a snapshot, or just say, I wrote my list of 100 dreams. Okay? The first part to writing that list, or just the part, the first half of dreaming is having that imagination to write your list of 100 dreams. The second part of dreaming is going to be your execution. Okay, so we have to have the why and we have to have the how. The dreaming part, the writing the list, is going to be your why, is going to be your imagination. The second part is going to be your how, your execution. How are you going to get there? Now, he said there's a difference. Dreaming is not goal setting. Goals are dreams. So dreaming is not a goal. Goals are actually dreams that we've committed to. So, I mean, I have a dream that one day I would be a backup dancer for Janet Jackson. That would be an amazing thing. But let's be honest, I'm not going to really commit to that dream, right? That's not something that I'm actually truly going to commit to. I might have a dream that I want to have a vacation home in Hawaii where I go and I'm able to visit regularly. That is something that I truly could commit to. And that has to be possible, desirable, right? And we have to be able to write it on paper. And it has to be, a realistic goal. It has to be a realistic dream that we can commit to. So, for example, he said he talked to one man who said, I want to be a New York Times best-selling author. That's my dream. And he said, now wait a minute there. Do you realize the commitment level that you are going to have to get that? And he said, the guy backed off and he's like, well, maybe I don't want to do that. He's like, but I do want to write a book. I would like to write a book. And he said, now wait a minute. Do you really want to commit to writing a book? And he had to think about it for a minute, but he said, yeah, I do. Okay, great. But I think sometimes we dream for things, we hope for things, but it may not be something we're quite willing to commit to. And that's the more important part when if it's a dream that you really want to achieve, you have to realize what commitment is that going to take? What is it going to take for me to get there? All right. So then the last step to dreaming is you got to jump off that cliff. You got to get going. And you have to believe, is this dream possible? Am I capable? Is it possible for me to achieve this dream? So that's where what I would like to try to start doing is I would like to create dream groups within our team. For those of you who would like to participate and would like some accountability, really what it is an accountability group. And I would like for those of you who have specific dreams, now I want you to take some time to really think about what your dream is and what dreams you are willing and ready to commit to. so that we can help you achieve that dream. But it will be a weekly accountability group that you'll come to, and you guys will meet together and you'll discuss what your dreams are, and we're going to talk about how to create those steps to make that dream happen, and see how and check in and see your progression along the way. But I truly believe that this business is built on dreams. Deanne taught us to dream. In the beginning, it was amazing. She's super inspiring. She taught us to dream and reach for the stars and dream the scary dreams. She didn't teach a lot of specifics on how to do this business, but she did teach us to dream and then just get out there and go get our dreams. And I think that's such an important part of what we do. So yes, I will tell you that dreams, even when we have our dreams, this business is hard. When I started LuLaRoe, you've probably heard the story before, but when I started, my first 3 parties, the very first party that I did, my launch party is the first party that I did. So my launch party was the very first party that I hosted as a consultant. And let me tell you, I think I had about 5 people attend. It was super dead, and I think I sat on the stairs for maybe an hour at one point with nobody coming into my party. But I was determined, booked 3 parties from that party. At my very first party outside of my home, it was really awesome. I think I had 3 people attend besides the hostess. So there's 4 girls there. One of them didn't buy anything. Then her mom was there and she bought 1 item. And then the other friend, I don't think, bought anything either. So I ended up selling 1 piece, but then I had promised the hostess an extra free item. So I ended up giving 2 pieces. So I ended up selling -1 pieces, which was pretty awesome. So, but I mean, that was not the first, that was the first, but it wasn't the last time that I had a party like that. You guys, it's, this business truly is cyclical. I've had many crappy parties, many crappy parties. I've had many good parties as well. In this business, if you don't have a dream, if you don't have the motivation, it can get really hard sometimes, and you you may question, why am I doing this? Why am I working my butt off? Why am I hauling all my inventory to this person's house and they didn't even invite their friends, or they're not even helping me, or I've heard nightmare stories about hostesses totally just ignoring the consultant. And you are not alone if you've had experiences like that. But if you have your dream, if you have your commitment, then that motivation is going to keep you going. So how many of you would be interested in participating in a group where you can kind of have some accountability, and it can be I'm thinking a small group, 3, maybe 4 people, and you just chat together weekly and chat about how your dream is, how your dreams, what your dreams are, and then how they're coming, and you can be there as a support system to help one another and encourage each other along the way. Do you guys have your raise your hand feature? Raise your hand if you're interested. I would love to help those who are ready to do that. Okay, I don't even know how to see that, the raise the hand feature. Oh, okay, I see it.
I would be interested, but I don't have the raise the hand feature, so here's my hand.
Thanks. Awesome. Okay, that's great. I think this is such an important thing. And for those of you that feel like, you know, maybe you're not quite ready for that, that's totally fine. But I want to provide this opportunity for you, for those that would like that support, because that's what we're here for. That's what the team is here for. But you guys, seriously, this business is truly a vehicle. The clothing is such a vehicle for you to really, if you have big dreams, if you have little dreams, it's the vehicle for you to achieve those, whatever it might be, at whatever level it might be. So that is what I have for you today. Do you guys have any questions or anything that you would like to share before we finish today? You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for those of you who shared today. Really awesome things that you shared. And I'm super inspired. I took away last week too, and I actually implemented making a schedule on Sunday. I implemented that, and I kind of planned out my week. And I planned out our call. I announced it before, like 1 hour before. I actually created an event for you guys. So I am improving my business. You guys, I am not perfect. By all means, I have many weaknesses in my own business. And so I learned from you guys. And so thank you so much for sharing all of the things that you are learning along the way too. So, all right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and close our call tonight. Again, remember, we do have open office hours on Thursday at, I believe it was 11 Mountain Standard Time. The event is posted in our team page. If you would like to participate in that, if you have some things that you want to come with questions, or if you want me to demonstrate anything for you through our share the screen feature, I can do that then. So RSVP if you are planning to come, so that I know that you're going to be there. I already know that there's a few planning to come. So other than that, I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I will plan on seeing you for sure next Monday on our team call. Please know that I am here for you if you need anything before then, and have a great week, you guys. Bye.